Hey, hello everyone. Welcome. All right. Lesson number 15 here. We're kind of revisiting the graphing portion. Lesson 15 does kind of connect hey, you've been solving your inequalities. Um, let's get a visual down for it to help you interpret your answers. So we really are going to spend time making sure we remind ourselves about your graphing. So let's jump right into this here. What we're doing here is, again, using your solving equation skills. The only thing that we've got to remember is multiply or divide by a negative, and we've got to reverse that inequality symbol. So if we look at question number one here, we are just dividing both sides by 4. And even though we're doing negative 20 divided by 4, which is negative 5, we divided by a positive. So we do not reverse the inequality symbol. So remember when we graph, we like 0 as a marker. All right, negative 5 would be to the left. Since it is just a greater than symbol, it is an open circle, and we are going to shade to the right. Remember, we do want to shade in on the number line, and we do want to darken in that arrow, either make it a triangle, or again, make sure you darken it in. Okay, question number 2. Okay, 2 steps here, not a big deal. Start on the side with your variable. To undo adding 8, we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So we've got negative 2x is less than or equal to 10. All right, we'll divide both sides by a negative 2, and oh, sound the alarms, people, sound the alarms, dividing by a negative. So x should be greater than negative 5. All right, so in other words, it's the exact same answer as what we end up seeing above. So graph-wise, yeah, all right, negative 5. Fine, I'll do it. All right, open circle shading. And again, if you'd like to, oops, if you'd like to do more of that, that's fine. Again, darkening the arrow is what we're after. Okay, and question number 3. All right, we're bringing out a fraction that is here. So let's see, we're still gonna undo the addition or subtraction first. We're gonna add 4 to both sides. Okay. We've got 3/4 x is greater than, that'll be a negative 12. And then remember, to get rid of your fraction, we can multiply by the reciprocal. Those are your multiplicative inverses. Yeah, multiplicative. Yes, I like saying it. Go ahead, say it yourself. Say it yourself. But yeah, when we multiply by the reciprocal, we're always going to get 1 for an answer. And remember, that's our goal, is to get that 1x that we are looking at. We're not flipping the inequality because we did not multiply by a negative. We multiplied by a positive 4/3. So all right, make it into a fraction, a little cross division, multiply across, and there we are. X is greater than negative 6. Yeah, there's my 0. Yep, there's my negative 16. Open circle, we're gonna shade to the, all right. Um, so this will happen sometimes when you take tests, quizzes. I kind of blended them there. Quizzes, all right there. But anyway, yeah, question 2. Did you notice what went wrong there? Yeah, it's an or equal to. I should be shading that in. So that should look like this guy that's right there. So it's not the same as right above. So that's going to happen. It's just the way the mind operates. Sometimes you make conclusions, you make assumptions. Oh, I saw the same answer. I wrote that. Yeah, all right, all right. But there we go. I got it. I got it there. Okay, so let's go down to the question that we're looking at. So this is going to kind of combine everything together. We got junior high art club selling candles for a fundraiser. The first week of the fundraiser, the club sells 7 cases of candles. Each case contains 40 candles. Goal is to sell at least 13 cases. During the second week of the fundraiser, the club meets its goal. Write, solve, and graph an inequality that can be used to find the possible number of candles sold that second week there. Okay, all right, so let's go back here. 7 cases of candles, each contains 40 of them. The goal is to sell at least 13 cases. During the second week of the fundraiser, the club meets its goal. All right, so the first week it sells 7 cases. All right. The goal is to get to 13. All right. So all that's going on here is I want to kind of take you behind the scenes here. What I'm doing is notice I'm rereading. All right. And that's normal. That's part of the process. So again, first week, 7 cases. So we've got 7 cases that are there. All right. The goal is to get to 13, and they didn't meet their case there. So here's the thing: is this 40 candles? It's not that it's extra information, but because the question does want to know the number of candles being sold. So we want 7 plus X. All right, because we don't know how many cases there are, and we want it to be at least 13, so greater than or equal to 13. Okay. So yeah, they sold 7 of them. We want to know how many more that they ended up selling that's there. Again, that's just gonna feed into the answering that could go along the right side, find the number of possible candles. So okay, so I would take 2 ways here. One, I would allow this. I got nothing wrong with this at all. If you change that 7 into a 280, and then did that 13 times the 40, all right, to get 520, I would be fine with either of those there. So if you did end up converting it, I see nothing wrong with that. So if you had 280 plus, and this case here is, all right, if we do that, it can't just be X anymore. It's going to have to be X divided by 40. All right. Well, no, because I'm more on candles. See, this is where, yeah, this is where we kind of go back and forth a little bit. So you know what? I'm going to take that back here, and I'm going to see what happens. Again, I do like to take you through the thought process that's there, because I do the analyzing that's there. Let's we ended up doing this. That's be greater than or equal to, and again, 40 times the 13, that's the 520. So the idea here is I'm either going to write it in terms of cases or write it in terms of number of candles. Because they're not really clear here, it's, we can go either way. Hey, they're all fine here. So let's see here. Let's get back to it. Subtract 7. All right. X has to be greater than or equal to 6. All right. Now, again, that's 6 cases. So if you do want to do your multiplication, okay, X is greater than or equal to 240. All right, we can certainly buy that from you. Now, what I'm noticing here is, wait, at the very end, I wanted to multiply by a 40, which tells me, wait a second. This should be X divided by 40. So see how we're working backwards here? I do want to multiply by 40. So if I had that here, then I would multiply both sides by 40, and now my equation is accurate. See, that's one of the things we want to make sure that we're doing is we're not just like, there's my answer, and oh, let's just multiply at the end. Let's go back to the very beginning there. So number of candles, all right, divided by 40 means it's the number of cases that are there. So yeah, I think that's the way we can go. Or like I said, I would certainly take this as well. I don't see anything wrong with that as long as you're showing me you're subtracting the 280 from both sides. X is greater than or equal to 240. So yeah, like I said, both ways there. I would take either one. I get we would somehow want to try to incorporate that in the question. So maybe if you did, 7 times 40, all right, and then yeah, plus X is greater than or equal to, and then in this case, 13 times 40. That would be showing everything that's there. So the main thing you want to stay away from is what we did down here, and like, okay, let's take the answer, then let's just multiply it. If we can incorporate that in, we'd like to do that. Okay, write, solve, and graph. We've written, we have solved, and then graph and kind of sold the number of candles sold. So again, we like the 0 as an indicator. I'm at 240, that's here. Greater than or equal to. So shade in that circle, and we are going to shade to the right. Voila. Now we can visually see, hey, greater than or equal to 240. All right, here we go, people. Enjoy.